Right.
What is up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk, the world's most underrated podcast on earth. And as you know, as they say, shit, there is something about the underdog, but screw the underdog. I mean, you see him to my right, the man behind, well, I'm just going to say it, the best food delivery service on this lovely planet of ours. I mean, Big Billy, the man behind Megafit Meals, the owner, the founder. Billy, how are you doing today, man?
Thanks, man. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for bringing me on here.
The pleasure is all ours because honestly, I love what you do and I love what your brother does as well. As obviously we were talking off there, it's you and your brother together, which I truly love. I think family is everything and the most important thing in the world now. I want to know, how the heck did this genius creation come to be? I mean, what inspired you and your brother to start a business that catered food and obviously healthy foods? And how did that all start, Billy?
So I would probably say that bodybuilding was kind of what got us started with Megafit Meals. If you just kind of go way back, our parents moved here from Greece when they were younger, like 15, 16 years old, and they started a restaurant, steakhouse, and it was like high quality food, just, everyday food. We worked there growing up as kids, cooking and washing dishes and all that good stuff. So we already knew the business of food, but we always wanted to get out of the food business. We always really didn't like it. We didn't enjoy it. So my goal was to find something different to do. We didn't want to just take over the restaurant just like anybody else would. So basically, what we did was we were able to open a gym when I was 22 years old. My dad had some land next door to his restaurant that he had given us, and he helped us get started on the new facility. It was about a 20,000 square foot gym at the time, which we still have, and we also have two more locations. So we have three locations now, and those are all called Mega Gym, and that's kind of how we got the Mega Fit name, was from Mega Gym. So we're running these gyms; they're very successful. And then, of course, I'm bodybuilding at the time, eating healthy, eating clean every day. And, our members are seeing us eat food every day like that. And they're asking, how do we get this food? We want to eat like you guys because, they're seeing us pump up and work out and bodybuild. So we started, I remember grabbing one of the best cooks I had back there, which was, they're right next door to each other, the restaurant and the gym. And I remember packing these meals on downtime at the restaurant and selling them out of the gyms. And we weren't at the time thinking we were going to go nationwide with this thing and blow it out. At the time, it was just a service that we wanted to provide in the gym. So we called them Megafit Meals. That way, it aligned with the gym, and we were just serving really clean food. It was restaurant style quality, like high quality grilled chicken breast, steak, fresh vegetables, but it was all cooked clean, no butters, no oils. So after we put these meals in the gym, we started selling them. They did really well. And I remember reaching out to Justin Compton, and Justin Compton was one of the first bodybuilders to promote the brand. And at the time, meal prep wasn't really a thing. I mean, there was companies out there doing ready meals, but there wasn't really anybody promoting in the fitness industry and using that type of branding. So my goal was not to just be food, but to be an awesome brand and have the best bodybuilders and just really cater to that industry, because that industry is kind of how I grew up, and that was my passion. Bodybuilding is what I've always loved to do. To this day, still love it and follow it. And we got Justin Compton. I remember shortly after we went to the Arnold Classic and we promoted the brand there. We signed Jay Cutler on shortly after. And funny story about Jay is we had brought him 15 years ago for a grand opening for an appearance at the gym. And we just kind of brought him because we were fans and, we wanted to meet him when we were kids. I was 22 years old, like I said. So we bring him down. He does a guest appearance. I remember we we took really good care. We fed him well. My mom was a huge part of that because she's a great cook, and she's always worked in the restaurant, and she did big caterings, and she was always great at taking care of people when they'd come over. Everybody always wanted to come to our house for Christmas, Thanksgiving, because she was such a great cook. Um, so he would remember that when we saw him at the Arnold, and we asked him if we could send him a package. And he remembered us. We didn't really keep in touch much, but every couple years I'd shoot him a message, just to see how he was doing. So we sent him the first package, and he loved the food, and he starts promoting the brand. And after that, we just kind of just started moving up fast, and it was crazy. So after that, I think we signed Flex Lewis on, which now we have. He has the Dragon's Lair in Vegas, so we provide the meals in his facility there, and he's promoting there as well. So we took off pretty fast, and man, it's kind of cool the way it worked out. And here we are today. We have Chris Bumstead and a lot of the top athletes. We have Michael Chandler now, who's a UFC fighter. And, all these guys are just pumping hard for us. And, our main thing with Megafit was just trying to stay true to what we believed in, which is good quality food. And that's what we've stuck with till today. We're still serving the same thing that we were serving 8 years ago, but we've improved and expanded the menu, obviously.
Wow. And Underdog Talk, Billy forgot to add this to his superstar team, the legend himself, Derek Lunsford and Brandon Hendrickson, Derek, who's been on the pod, and Brandon, who will be on next Monday. Just an amazing, it's almost like, it's like the A team. I mean, the A team is Megafit Meals when you think of just class athletes, legendary athletes, and obviously the best of the best. I mean, they go hand in hand. Now, I think the difference between you and other competitors is really just the class talent. And I mean, that's how I know you. And I think that's how many people know you, because of the class athletes that you guys have. And obviously the phenomenal food that you have. But I'm really interested. Can you discuss the importance of portion control and how Megafit Meals kind of addresses this? Because to me, I'm always getting these frozen foods from Giant or all this thing, and it's barely any food, or it's too much food. So, Billy, how do you guys address that portion control? As obviously that is so vital for bodybuilders and athletes.
So we believe in high protein diet, and we serve a 5-ounce cooked portion, which most of the industry you'll see they do a 3 or 4 ounce cooked portion on the protein. So we're a little bit higher on the protein, and we feel like that's kind of what separates us, as well as the quality. We use all the seasonings, our homemade seasonings, the sauces that come with the meals. That really separates us because, you get this chicken and rice meal, but if you don't have a good sauce with it, it's kind of bland and boring to eat. But these sauces that we make are on the healthier side. So everything that we do, we like our signature menu compared to our customs. Our customs are like where you can select your own protein, carb, and vegetable. You can select your own portion size. So if you're a big bodybuilder and you want 8 ounces of meat, you can select 8 ounces, whatever protein choice you want, with whatever carb and vegetable as well. So if you're dieting, you can do no carbs. So it kind of gives you the flexibility. But then on the other side, we have the signature meals, which the way I like to explain those is they're more of your tasty meals. They're not super, super clean like the customs, but they're like a cleaner version of something you would eat out. So like, let's just we do like a steak quesadilla, for example. We use a whole wheat tortilla. We use extra protein. There's no butters, no oils, light cheese. And, it's an easy way to eat high protein and still be more on the clean side, instead of when you go to a restaurant and you leave feeling kind of like crap. This food is just great. Everything that we do. And kind of getting off track a little bit, I want to brag on my mom, because she's actually the one that makes the food good. And going back to what we were saying earlier, I remember going to her after I created the original menu, which was just a boring bodybuilding menu. And I handed her some different menu items. I was like, can you make this but make it taste good without all the fats and the oils. And it was a challenge for her, and she was able to do it and pull it off. And over the years, she's gotten better and better at and learned about more healthy ingredients. And she, till this day, actually still is the one that creates the recipes. Whatever we throw at her, if we're like, hey, we want a healthy chicken parm, she'll figure it out. And we give her the ingredients that we want to use. If it needs to be gluten-free or whatever it needs to be, she makes it happen. So it's pretty awesome.
And shout out mom there. Golly, shout out mom. And there's nothing like homemade mom's cooking. And obviously Megafit Meals is homemade mom's cooking. I mean, it's like you're in Billy's mom's house with just that amazing food. And Megafit Meals, I'm just got to say one more time, I'm impressed what you guys do, because I think you differentiate yourself in so many different ways, and not going into what everyone else is doing, being different. Now, how do you ensure that Megafit Meals aligns with, the changing trends and demands, especially in the health and wellness industry?
So we just try to stand by what we believe in, and just try to stay true to myself on diet. Like, I've always kind of stuck to the basics. Like I said, high protein diet, and just macro balanced, and following the trends. We've done keto, we've done some vegan menu options, but in the end, we like to stick to what we're good at, what we believe in, and it works for us.
And if it works for you, then that's all that matters. Now, what plans or visions you have for the future of Megafit Meals? I mean, are there any new initiatives or expansions in the pipeline?
Yes.
What I'm talking about.
So right now we're currently designing a 50,000 square foot facility to build actually here in Kentucky, which is in my hometown, and we're hoping to create about 200 jobs. Right now we have over 150 employees, so we're hoping to expand on that. That's probably like a 3-year project, but it's in the process now. So we've kind of outgrown the location we're at right now, but it still works for us. We're able to expand on it a little bit more, but we're kind of in the final phase. So our plan right now is building that new facility. That way we can streamline everything and just continue to pump more volume, because our mentality is we never want to stop. When we started this in the back of the restaurant, we had this little space back there, and we were doing like 100 meals a week. It was nothing. And even then it was stressful, because pulling off 100 meals a week with 2 guys was tough. So it was always a challenge. And of course, meal prep was kind of new. So I was learning how to package and how to ship, and then how to ensure that the food tasted good, after being frozen. Yeah. So there was a lot of challenges along the way. I'll tell you a funny story about Justin Compton. Was the first package I ever mailed out was his. And I shipped it out just to see if he was going to like the food, make sure that he was good with everything before we move forward. He gets the package. He sends me pictures, and every meal was shattered. The trays had broken from the dry ice, became real brittle, and shattered everything. I was embarrassed. I was like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? So thankfully, Justin was cool enough to give me another shot, send him another package. Everything was perfect. And I perfected everything. I had some learning curves, obviously, but it worked out for me.
Hey, Billy, learning curves happen. I mean, shoot, Underdog Talk. You guys remember our first episode a year ago? I called the guest the wrong name the whole episode. Since then, I've never called the guest the wrong name. And I think we all just learn, and we all become better through our mistakes. And obviously you are now where you are as the most successful meal company out there. But I am interested, how do you ensure, the quality and freshness of the ingredients used in Megafit Meals to really, and especially when it's shipped too, how does that all work?
So we work in a USDA approved facility. We have equipment that does like a map seal. So what that does is increases the shelf life of the meal. And then everything that we make, it's made to order. So let's just say you were to order a box of custom meals to be shipped Monday. Well, everything would be made that day and shipped on dry. So we blast freeze all the meals, ship them on the dries. They arrive within 1 to 2 business days, and you pop them in the freezer. And I mean, they're fresh meals, even though we freeze them. You just thaw them out overnight, pop them in the microwave. The best way to heat the meals is on the skillet. But that's pretty much how we do it right there.
And now this is so unbodybuilding like, but my parents are vegetarian. I want to get them on Megafit Meals. So I have to ask, what kind of dietary preferences or restrictions does Megafit Meals cater to? I mean, do you guys cater to vegetarian or people on the keto diet? Is that still something you guys do?
We still have some keto options and vegan and vegetarian, but our primary focus is not that direction. Again, just like I said, everything that I do is kind of what I believe in and how I've eaten. To this day, I'm still eating 2 or 3 of these meals. I mean, I do my own breakfast at home and my own late night meal, but for the most part, I live on these meals. So, to answer your question, we have gluten-free options. We add no preservatives in the meals. So just different things like that you can get online and check out and see.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to convert my parents to meat. I mean, I need them to get muscular anyway, so it's about time for that, Billy. And what I'm really interested in, can you share some success stories that you've seen or heard from obviously people taking your meals and really changing their life in a positive way?
Yeah, so we have a lot of people that reach out, and we've had people say that they were, diabetic, and they started eating these meals and everything had improved for them, after eating this food after some time. I mean, we've had several people lose a lot of weight. We don't do a lot of, we don't promote that on the site or anything, but, there's some pretty cool stories. We've got a guy that's been ordering Megafit from day one, and he's lost over 100 pounds, and that's all he eats. He says every time he sees me, he's like, "Man, I'm promoting your brand everywhere. I believe in it 100%." He's like, "Great food, and I don't have to think about it. I just I'll get online, I order what looks good, and it fits and it works for me." So,
Wow. And shout out to that OG. Now, how many days if someone's looking to start on Megafit, how many days is the minimum to kind of start and see how, the meals work for me and kind of my diet?
So we have a 12 meal minimum. So you would just order 12 meals. And a lot of companies do subscription based only. With our company, you can order one time or do a subscription. So you can order as needed. You can ship it to your hotel if you want when you need. But you can order up to 28 meals in one box. And as far as, you can eat 2 or 3 meals a day, just kind of however you want to, do it is the way it works. It's not set up where you select the clean plan and you get the meals that our chef selects for you, which sometimes half the time you may not even like what's being served. With us, you can actually select the food that you like. And that way every meal in your box is what you picked, So it's kind of.
I like that a lot. And you know what? First person to subscribe to Megafit Meals, DM me. We'll get you a special Derek Lunsford shirt out to you. I mean, the champion himself, the 212 champ, and the future of bodybuilding. Now, finally, what advice would you give to individuals who are looking to make healthier food choices but struggle with time constraints or lack of culinary skills? How would someone go about that?
I would say eat Megafit meals.
That's the answer I was looking for. That was the answer. That was just a prompt.
So we created this for convenience and to show people that eating healthy doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be a prepackaged frozen meal that what everybody visualizes it to be, and that's kind of like something that hurts us in a way. Whereas unless you've tried our food, your first reaction to meal prep is, low quality food. It's frozen food. But anybody that's tried our meals, and I stand by it 100% because I eat it every day. And like I said, we still use the same quality that we have used from day one. We don't cut quality as we've grown. Actually, if anything, we've improved our quality. So, you know, it's convenient. It comes right to your door. It saves you hours a week that you could be doing other more valuable work, rather than prepping your food and putting it in Tupperware, putting it in the refrigerator for the week. Because we also provide the healthy sauces and the different homemade options that make the food a little bit more than what it is. And it's actually helped me myself. I've been able to stay on course and on track a lot better because, you struggle eating the boring bodybuilding foods and you don't have time to slice up tomatoes and onions. And that's the things that we do that separates us from you cooking at home, because you don't have to go buy all those ingredients and shopping and cleaning, and it just saves you a ton of time and energy. And it's right there. It's easy. You pop it in the microwave, it's done.
And Billy, I was fucking with you on that question. Obviously, it's choose Megafit Meals. The real question is, what is your biggest tip for someone who is looking to start their business just like you once were? Obviously, it doesn't have to be, a food company, but just a business in general from everything that you've learned so far.
I've learned along the way is just doing something that you're good at and really working hard at it. I said I wasn't into the food business, but I grew up in that. I was into bodybuilding and fitness and eating healthy. So I kind of put those two things together. And then I just kind of had a couple tools that helped me kind of forge ahead. I had the gym to sell the meals out of, but everything that I did, I enjoyed. And up to this point, I didn't realize how much I do enjoy food, because at this point I have become to really enjoy the operations and the kitchen part of the business. When it was the restaurant back then, I was working for my parents. It just wasn't the same. I was ready to get out of that. But this is different because it's more my style of food. We're catering to the industry that I love. And, when you love something, of course, it definitely makes it a lot easier to just to continue that path. And, sometimes you might not have the tools, but you just have to figure it out, and work hard at it every day. And that's why I kind of give a lot of credit to bodybuilding, because I feel like bodybuilding gave me the discipline, and it just kind of sharpens the mind. Because, if you can go through that diet and suffering and block everything else away, whether it's going and partying on the weekends, having a good time. And that's kind of how Megafit's been for me. It's been staying on track, focused, forgetting about all the other stuff and all the bullshit, and just stay on course, man. Keep going.
And you got to love what you do. And I got a tattoo just to illustrate Billy's point. You got to trust the process. Billy, I got that just for this episode, just to add on to what you had to say, man. Fuck. Oh, I got to try and see if I can erase this tattoo from my arm. But for real, I love what you've done with Megafit Meals and changed the game. I think for me, what the difference is, it's good tasting food. And we don't see that so much on prep. We see that plain white rice, that plain chicken. And Flex even actually said that's what turned him off from bodybuilding, that plain food. So it's just so amazing to see him kind of rejuvenate, find food that he can enjoy in Megafit Meals. It's almost just like, wow, everything happens for a reason. And now, before we go, sir, the floor is yours. Where can we find Megafit Meals? Is this something we can find online, on Instagram? What is that Instagram, and what is the website handle? The floor is yours, sir.
So megafitmeals.com is the website. And then you can go to Megafit Meals on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. I'll tell you another cool thing that we created just to make it easier for people is we created a bum box. And this was something that we created around C-Bum. This box is the food that he eats. It's not the portions, because not everybody's 250 pounds. So the average guy like me and you, we're going to eat smaller portions.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we cater to, but it's the actual food that he eats, and you can go online and eat like him. And it's been a hit. People love it. You can go click on it on the site and get to those menu items and order. So it's pretty neat.
well, second person to get that bundle, I mean, we'll send you another signed autograph from one of the legendary guests that we've had on the podcast. I mean, I actually got to say a big thank you for combining me and you in the same sentence. You are way bigger than me. I'm 150 pounds. So when you're talking about all these 3 to 5 ounces, Billy, I'm doing maybe 1 ounce of this shit, man. Come on. So thank you for combining me and your big ass in the same sentence. I truly love that. And I actually did see the bum box. And if you want to be a champion, you got to eat like a champion. That's what it fucking comes down to.
Yeah.
And guys, all the links and all of that will be in the bio. I mean, also go follow Billy and see what the CEO and founder does on the day-to-day basis, because that to me is super interesting, and seeing your day-to-day life activities and getting a face behind the brand. And you know, I do have to ask one final question, and you don't have to answer this yet. Are there any big names that you want to join the brand, or do you see joining the brand in the future?
So there's always this one person that we've been working on, and I'm not going to say his name, but if it ever comes out, it'll be sweet. But you know, just to have gotten where we've gotten with the athletes that we have today, honestly, is a dream. You know, I was never able to turn pro as a bodybuilder. I was a national level competitor, and always looked up to people like Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman and Kevin Levrone and these types of bodybuilders, and always wanted to be in the industry. And the bodybuilding thing didn't work out for me, so this was a way to keep me in the fitness industry and have relationships with these people, which has been great and has kept me motivated. And I've learned a lot. Jay's been a great mentor for me along the way. People like Flex Lewis, you know, all these names have just, these are awesome people to work with, not just awesome bodybuilders, but
Awesome
the people that support us are good people. And that's kind of what we strive to work with, because, you know, everybody trusts each other. We take care of each other, and it's been great. We love it.
I love it. And Billy, you've got one more supporter in the Underdog Talk, because we love what you're doing and we think it is exemplary. And shout out to our guy, Kevin Levrone, one of our first guests we ever had on the podcast. Weird fact, he lives about 10 minutes away from me. I don't know if I should have said that.
Okay.
But shout out Kev, and yeah, he's one of the greatest of all time. Maryland Machine. Damn, now I said what state I live, but
it's funny when you mention him. I remember watching the Maryland Muscle Machine videos when I was younger. I was like 18, 19 years old, and he had his neighbors cooking all his fish, everything, and he would just walk over there, grab a plate. It was saran wrapped, and he'd throw it in the microwave. And that kind of hit me years later. I was thinking about that. I was like, I need to do that for my shows through the restaurant. So when I was younger, I had a lady in the back kitchen preparing all the food for me, so I didn't have to sit there at home and cook it. And then it never triggered with me back then to start a meal prep company, because that wasn't a thing. But several years, if it would have, you know, we'd be even further today, I would think. But, you know, that was something that kind of triggered my mind a little bit with the meal prep thing, was watching him do that.
Well, shout out to Kevin Levrone then, man. I mean, and I wasn't one of those neighbors, unfortunately. I don't think I was alive yet. But shout out Kevin Levrone. I mean, he inspired so many people, and might have even had a little hand in Megafit Meals. Who knows? But obviously, go check out Megafit Meals. And again, first 2 people to get one of the 12 packs and then the C-Bum meal, DM me. We'll get you some special stuff out there as well. And follow Billy. His Instagram will be in the bio. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on this video. Until next time, guys, Underdog out.